good to see the panel back in. So we can then get all of that filled in now, get the bodywork done, the actual panel straightness. So this is what I've been using this for, just to sort of tell me if the panels are correct, and they're all lining up really nicely. And then this is what helps me then run down and into the lockers. So when I'm doing the framework for these lockers, that's basically how I'm then leveling up the top section of paneling to the material or the aluminium framework. The rest of this paneling now I can start getting in. I'm just literally waiting for the water tank to turn up, which online water tanks have sorted us out with those. They've been really helpful. Give us a little bit of discount, and we've got a discount code for yourselves as well if you need any water tanks or anything like that. Basically, that's our gas locker. That is just a big storage locker, so I might extend it that way. I've still got to put our crash bar in at the back, so hence why I've left the back corner that side, and this back corner will be left clear so that I can get in there basically and build our crash bar into place. So that'll be a locker. We'll have our wheel arch the same as what we've got the other side, our gas locker. So this is going to be the framework for our gas locker, and then this will just have just the sheeting on the same as the other side and be just covered in. We'll have a little hatch for our AdBlue, so we can fill our AdBlue in. We'll have a hosepipe connector in this area here that will lead into our onboard tank, so we can fill our onboard tank. The waste tank is going to be mounted at the back here, and then it'll have a drain sort of coming out probably onto this back corner here, I'd have thought, and everything obviously from showers, sinks and everything like that will go into there. Fresh water, then we're going to hopefully cut a hatch into the floor so that I can then access that freshwater tank as well. The paneling that we've got here is going to be bolted on, and that is so that we can remove the panel and we can get to our air filter. You'll see at the front here the ears, so I've got the ears on now. I've started to plan out how the body and the front is going to meet. So basically these are going to have this sort of a gap. This will be fixed and sealed to the ears. Obviously the ears and the top pod is going to be all sealed and fixed to the cab, and then we'll have a seal that will sort of come down and make this watertight-ish. But then what I'm planning to do is actually put some bodywork from here and wrap it round so that it all sort of looks seamless from here to here, so we're not going to have this big void. As you saw on the time lapse, the inside is actually looking a bit more like something now, and not quite as much of a cab, so it's quite nice to actually see the inside changing, and you can sort of almost just a couple of panels. There's going to be a nice big sunroof going in here, might even be two sunroofs going in. The white panelling is our bathroom area, so that'll be sort of our washroom sort of size. Deliveries, so we've got some aluminium checker plate for our locker boxes to line the locker boxes out, and we've got our fresh water tank, and then just underneath that the slimmer one, very slightly wider, is our wastewater tank. So back onto the build, and rain is stopping play today, so just trying to get the roof sheets fitted into the horse area. I've got the water tank arrived the other day, so I've got to make up some brackets, so I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with that basically. And that's sort of the area. Obviously it's going to go right up to the underfloor mounts. The top filler cap will be accessible from inside, so I've got to make a cutout so you can get your hand through to put into that, etc. And then we can start thinking about where to put our pipe work for the water system and the pumps and how that's all going to work. Water tank is fitted into place, so all the brackets now holding it nice and snugly. We're going to cut a little hole in the floor for access to the tank. We've got to cut in for the sensor for the tank. Rear roof area is all in, so we've sort of gone for this grey starry pattern, marked out and put in a cable here, so this can have a fan in the roof, so there's a cable running in through the roof and then back into where our control box is. We've had a load of stuff turn up, and this is all the CBE control panels, fuse boxes. So this is what is going to actually power the living section, and the control panel that we've gone for is the PC380. I've done a little quick setup on this because the water tank level sensor, which is that one there, isn't for the PC380 supposedly, and it said that it had only worked with a PC210. So I'd bought this just to sort of trial and see whether it would actually work, and I can actually get this to work with the wiring, so it will work. The PC210 longer water tank level sensors will work with the PC380. Rear section is getting very close to sort of being done. I've got to just give it another Raptor coating on the side walls, finish off the side. All the floors got to be Raptor coated, but we've got all the lighting in now, so I've got two-way switches in now, so they operate from in the living area and then in the horse area, so I can put the lights on from either side. I've got the roof fan starting to just go in now, and then we can go outside, cut the fan from the roof side, and then this is the actual fan, so it's a bit like a Omni-Vent extractor fan, just with a two-way switch, so it'll extract out and it'll blow cool air in, and this will just be sort of mounted mainly to the outside. I'll make a wooden frame, I think, on the inside for this to all screw into from the outside, and then we've got a little cover that'll sort of just go on this side to cover up the hole. And there they are, so that's the wiring. Hopefully I've not chopped through them. It's always a bit of a risk when the cable's right there. Now up on the roof I've made a couple of little marks from inside. It gives me a pretty good idea of where we're cutting out. So I've used our top ring, marked it out, I'll get this cut out, and hopefully it all lines up. So the hole is cut. I've got some timber in there just to catch the screws, because there's nothing really there to catch the screws inside. I've put a tape seal on, and what my plan is to actually tape seal it and then over seal on the outside. And with the tape seal, you're always better to mark or poke the holes through basically for the screws, otherwise the screws are just going to grab the tape and pull it to pieces. So I've got a little cutout for the cable there, so we've got a little hole for the cable as well to come through, and that's got to be in a specific place, which is there. So wish me luck. So the roof fan is now fitted. I've wired up the switch temporarily just to... Oh, it's working, it's working! So it's just in temporarily, just to sort of check that it's doing what it should be doing. I've got a cover now to fit onto there that can then direct the blower down, so that should keep the horses nice and cool when it's a hot day. Quick check on the bluetti what the fan is actually drawing. So I've got about 40 watts, we've got nothing else on. Marking out for one of the little side windows in the top sleeper cab. So we've got a bit more metal work going in just to try and bring the cab or the sleeper pod and the body back into line, so that the gap that we've currently got, just trying to fill that void in. So while I've got the scaffolding out, a great time to get this little window in. So I've got two, obviously one either side. So what I'm doing is I've marked out with the opposite side one, because I can put that flat against the side, and I've got to sort of just be careful because we sort of go into the beveled edges. So I know that the opposite side one is sitting flat when I put that one in, and then I can use the proper one to mark out for the cut, and then I'm just literally going to use our grinder and cut this out. We'll give that a test fit, and hopefully it fits in and we've not got to mess about with any more. Luckily we've got a nice big edge to bond this window in with, so got plenty of room for error. There we go. First time, first fit. Spot on the lines. I've got a little bit of manoeuvrability to be able to line it up fully. Make sure it's all sitting nice and square, so just a good clean up now, and then that window is ready to be bonded in. Bit of progress on the lorry today. So we've got the water tank all fully finally fitted in. We've got a nice little access hatch to be able to get in. We've got our sensor for our level, that's all in there. We've got to put in our water fill up point, so that's got to go in, but I've built up the side rails today. Just now starting to line out the gas locker. So we've put a proper floor in that's going to have some proper drop vents put into there, so there'll be some vents actually drilled into the bottom of that, and then obviously I'm just lining it all out now. So that is today's job. That's then our gas locker complete. So I can't fit the door on completely until I've got all the side sections in. It's absolutely throwing it down in rain now. I can't fit the door in until I've got the side skirts on, which I need to get the last locker lined out. I suppose I could do the waste bits even once these side skirts are on, because I can access it from the back. So realistically, once I've got that locker there lined out with the checker plate, I'll get these sides on now, and then get this gas locker fitted and complete, and not let it fall out like that, basically. So that is our gas locker. We've gone for the gas low. Literally, we've just basically got some gas low bottles and adapter knocking about, so it was silly not to use them. I've got to seal everything all up. I'm going to probably put a couple more drop vents just in the floor. We've got big sort of openings around the bottoms of the gas bottle anyway. The only other thing that, now that the door is on, I don't know whether the gas low filling nozzle will fit or not. So I can either move it over slightly or put it on a very slight angle maybe. I don't want to notch anything out of the door for it making a waterproof seal, etc. So That's the only thing. It's just a little bit tight as to whether we can fill that up with the nozzle or not when you go to the gas load. So, but otherwise, that's basically it. We've got to get the regulator in, so I've put in a support beam, so that beam there will catch the bottle straps, so even though they're in at the bottom, we'll still have straps going around the bottle, and then the regulator is going to go right up the very top, and I think that the gas pipe then is going to run down underneath and then up and into the body of the vehicle. I think that's what it's going to do. As I say, I've just got to let all this set now, and then I'll go around and I'll seal up all of the edges in a grey, I think. Just seal that completely up so it is completely sealed, and then there's no gaps. As I say, maybe a couple more drop vents in the floor, just to be safe really. And then that is pretty much it. It's ready to be done and dusted. So it's just basically a sealed locker is all that you're trying to make, and that is, once it's all fully sealed up, what that is going to be. So proper gas locker that will pass a gas inspection. And then the water tank, as I've mentioned before, that's all in, so I can start getting the water pump in. I can put that filler in now, so we're going to put a hose pipe fitting with a ball cock in there, so that can go in there now that I've sort of got the side skirts on and know where all that's going to go. So this basically now can be completely sheeted in, and it will transform this side of the vehicle. I'll have to cut out for the AdBlue, and then what I'm planning to do is for the air filter and for the exhaust system, actually make this section of the panel down here removable, so is that if we need to get in to do anything, the complete panel here will come out and we can actually get into that area and just make it easier for servicing, etc. So that is going to be another day, I think. So slowly but surely the build is coming on. Today I'm going to be trying to line up the cab and the rest of the body. When we sort of fitted the box section, it seems that the cab can't have been fully locked down into position. We'd had the cab up and down a few times before we'd been putting the section on. Luckily it's not all bonded in. I'd literally just bolted it in just to hold it in place. So we've got a little bit of manoeuvrability there, but today's job that is going to be sort of line all that up, getting the rest of the bodywork sort of bonded in, and then we can start to actually do some bodywork and get it all lined up nice and flush. And that I think is going to be the next video, or leading on to the next video. Probably more time-lapsey, hopefully. I think people like the time-lapse stuff. So don't forget, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and see our progress. Hopefully we're not far away from getting inside and starting to fit out inside now. So that is going to be coming up soon. So we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching on Mark at the Caravan Place.